How can musicians hear a song for the first time, pick up the instrument and just play it instantly? And how can you learn to do so? I started teaching these skills when I was still studying at the music conservatory, and I ended up as a music theory professor at the same conservatory. And I'm telling you, you can do this as well. This playlist will help you understand music. Because of this, your ears will pick up more details as well as the big picture of a composition. And because of that, you will feel the music in a deeper way. And after all that has happened, hearing a song for the first time and playing it instantly won't even be a challenge. However, you need to know what you're getting into in order to have the right kind of mindset. This is lesson 0. Here's my promise to you. You will grow when you follow this playlist, at least if, and that's a big fat if you don't binge the videos and take the assignments and exercises seriously. If you do so and take your time digesting everything each video provides you with, you will grow. Guaranteed. As I pointed out before, understanding music leads to sharper ears, and that leads to a deeper emotional experience of the music. I personally believe the benefit of feeling more deeply extends to beyond just music. You will feel yourself more deeply and thereby become more authentic as a result. And this is what I actually want to help you with. The lessons mirror this process. Remember, understanding, hearing, feeling. I'll explain how something works, giving examples in order to feed our understanding and exposing our ears. Then we'll listen to an example and use our ears to deduce what's going on as much as possible. Then I'll give you guys some homework in order to train your understanding and some homework to train your ears. And most importantly, I'll emphasize every darn video that you need to apply this stuff in improvisation and composition. You can do that without an instrument, but I strongly urge you to do it with your instrument. This is how you move from understanding to hearing to feeling. Of course, the comments are a great place to share your compositions and get feedback from other people and from me. And it would also be a great idea to get a friend or two involved with this, so you guys can check the videos out together or talk with each other about what you've seen and just share this process in general. It's much more motivating and it's a better learning experience. And an easier one. In this playlist we'll discuss everything you need to know in order to understand how music generally works. Now we'll do this from the perspective of pop music. Although there's nothing new under the sun, jazz, classical and pop music all use the same 12 notes, and thus many of the concepts used in one can be used in another as well. Don't forget that music theory is not all about the theory. You don't learn this with paper and pen, you learn this with an instrument in your hands. Now if you don't play an instrument and still want to learn this stuff, I encourage you to get a DAW, a digital audio workstation, D-A-W, DAW. You could use GarageBand, which is automatically installed on every Apple device. You could use Studio One, which is what I use. It has a free version, which is just fine. You could use FL Studio or Cubase or Reaper or Logic or any of the DAWs. Most of them, if not all of them, have a free version that will do just what it needs to do for the purposes of this playlist. Okay, now listen to me. You need this because composing lets you listen in a different way. You're now evaluating the sounds, trying to feel what something feels like in order to determine whether that's a feeling you want. And often enough you'll be wrong, but you're training your brain to understand that certain concepts feel in certain ways when you apply them. And that's what you want to do. You want to bridge the gap between the idea and the feeling. That's what we want to do. Using an actual instrument will come with the massive benefit of being able to improvise. So music is often described as being a language. And if you're learning to compose, you're learning to write, okay? If you're learning to play on an instrument and improvise, you're learning to speak your mind, which is much more fluent, much more natural and expressive. So again, I strongly urge you to use your instrument when you're following this playlist. Now I'll be releasing a video each week. These videos will start at the level of an absolute beginner that knows nothing at all about music. No matter who you are, if you want to learn about music, you can watch this playlist and you will learn. However, as the playlist progresses, lessons will become more and more serious and advanced, and after about 20 lessons, you will have had all the theory you would generally learn when you're studying pop at the music conservatory. That might sound like a false promise, but it isn't. The catch is, you don't just watch the videos and become a musician, you watch the videos to learn what you should do, to learn what you should practice and which exercises to go through and how to apply all this stuff. And that's how you become fluent. Now obviously I'm doing my best to make sure you become as fluent as possible, but in order to get as much as you can out of this playlist, I urge you to play music in a band, make music by yourself, go to jam nights, open nights, and do what you can in order to make music, alone or with others. Now, because of the nature of this playlist, starting simple but moving up quickly, there's gonna be a point where you might not be able to follow along anymore. And I'm telling you, you need to keep watching, and there's a reason why. We're gonna move from understanding to hearing to feeling with each of these concepts. However, the understanding part generally progresses fastest, and the ears try to follow along. So, if you're looking at lesson 7, for example, and you're still digesting everything that happened in lesson 6, that's fine, that's not a problem. But if you're watching lesson 7, and you can't follow along what's even being said, what I'm talking about anymore, then you need to stop. You need to stop, watch lesson 6 again, make sure your understanding is up to par, and once you understand what we're talking about, then you can move on with the next lesson. Keep applying everything anyway. Otherwise your ears will never get there, and you will never get the deeper feeling either. But all you need the first time you watch a video is to understand what's happening. I also want to urge you guys to ask your questions in the comments so we can help each other, and of course I'll be answering the comments as well. Also keep in mind that these videos take a ton of time and effort, and I'd love to churn out higher quality content and do so more frequently. You can help out with that by sharing the video with your friends, subscribing, or supporting me on Patreon, link in the description below. And now, let's make some music!